There's a food I love, one I've been dreaming of. Its milk's claim to immortality. This is my homage to fromage. Sing along if you please, for cheese, 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 wonderful cheese. Please don't like cheese, but I love cheese. Like this one, cheddar, cheddar, cheddar. No cheese is better. I eat it wearing a sweater, and that's why I love cheddar. Mozzarella, mozzarella, mozzarella. It makes me a happy fella. It's the worldwide #1 seller. It is, and that's why I love mozzarella. Everybody, cheese, 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 wonderful cheese. Please don't like cheese, but I love cheese. Sing it, boys. The cheese that's never ruda. It is my favorite fooda, and that's why I love Gouda. Camembert, camembert, camembert. The cheese I love to share. I've got some to spare, so come on, have some camembert. Everybody, cheese, 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 wonderful cheese. Please don't like cheese, but I love cheese. Separate the curd from the whey. Set the curd aside in a tray. Press the fresh curd into a mold. Then when it gets old, it's cheese, 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 wonderful cheese.
Welcome everybody, part two of our yet unnamed, I believe, Cheesy Movies podcast, and we're back with Tiffany Sisman.
No, just Tiffany Sisman.
Oh, okay. I thought your middle name was UH.
I thought we were gonna go with So Bad They're Good. Cheesy films we love.
I was going to ask you. Hey, here we go. We'll do it on air. I had two. That or the title of one of your emails, More Cheese, Please.
Oh.
That'll be the title to part 2.
Okay, good. I like it.
We got it. We worked it out, folks. Thank you for listening to that.
See? We're so smart.
Oh, so here we are back, and I'll let Tiffany start us out. We hope you enjoyed our first Cheesy Movie podcast.
Because this is more of the same.
This is more of the same. You're right. Nothing new here.
Right. If you're on number 2, you knew what you were getting with number 1.
Exactly. Unless
Okay,
you're in the bathroom.
Yeah, exactly.
Wah, wah.
Let's not talk about that number 2, please.
No, let's not. I don't like talking about that. German sex freaks are crazy to me.
Ew.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Ugh. Can we move on? Ugh, I've got an
Let's
image.
talk about my movie
Ah!
already. Jeez.
Holy
Okay,
shit.
I'm just throwing it out there. I think you like this one too, but we'll see.
All right.
1981. I'm just going to tell you the actress because that's going to give it away. Lily Tomlin.
I didn't write it down because I knew you were doing it. The Incredible Shrinking Woman.
Yes. Oh my
Yay!
god.
I love it. I love it.
Love this movie. It is so awesome.
Real quick, not to interrupt you, and then you can go on.
Well, you did interrupt me, but
but
go ahead,
I,
yeah.
every time somebody says that, you're being interrupted. And also when they say no offense, they're about to offend you.
Right.
And you might as well throw. I'm not a racist, but right. When I think of that movie,
Yeah.
I think of pink. Everything's fucking pink in that
Oh,
movie.
it is.
Everything is pink.
Everything, yeah.
Anyway, go on.
No, it is. And actually, when I watched it recently again, this is
I
just
need to,
such a fantastic movie from my childhood. I love Lily Tomlin. I did not like Charles Grodin back then, but he's just so perfect in this movie. And every part of it is just fantastic. They've got that whole, like, 70s, I don't think it's 70s, but that kitchen where, like, everything is pink. All the product placement stuff is happening.
The ribbon in her hair is pink.
Everything is pink. It is really, really pink. She wears a pink romper at one point, I think.
Yeah.
But that movie, like, every part of it's good. She's narrating through the whole thing, so it's got that really cool kind of vibe going on where you're seeing the story, but she's kind of telling her story at the same time, and I love that.
I know. It's so funny.
And then she's just like this housewife that just wants to be the perfect housewife for her husband who's in like advertising. And oh God, I don't know. I could watch that movie over and over and over again.
It's fantastic. One thing I love about it is, the great Lily Tomlin.
Yeah.
I've always said she is one of the all-time great funny people.
I agree.
She still is.
Yeah.
And for a while there, and a lot of people look at me and say, what the fuck? But I used to find her in her day rather attractive. There was something about her.
So I think my attraction to Lily Tomlin, and this is weird, and my husband doesn't see it, I think she kind of looks a little bit like my mom.
Really?
Yeah. I've always thought
I don't see that.
Everybody says that, but I've always related her back to my mom. I loved her when I first saw her before I even knew she was funny, because I'm like, oh, that kind of looks like my mom. And then I found out how funny she was, and saw this movie, obviously, and really fell in love with her. But, I mean, it's got so many fun things when you're a kid seeing it, too, because she gets smaller and smaller and smaller. She gets smaller than her kids.
When she's on the Mike Douglas talk show, sitting in the big chair.
Yes, has to crawl in the presents to get on her chair. And she just keeps getting smaller, and then she's wearing doll clothes, and then she's living in the doll house.
I love that.
And then there's this whole scene
and they're trying to still have a normal marriage.
Oh, and she climbs on the bed in lingerie, and then he like rolls over on the pillow, and she goes flying off the bed, and she hits the skateboard and rolls out the door.
I need to see that again. I love it.
Good. And she ends in like this like closet or toy bin full of toys. And so there's these tiny little action figures that would normally be little, and she's like the same size as them, and they're pinning her in place, and just one of my favorite scenes is the garbage disposal scene where she goes down the garbage disposal.
God, yeah.
She's like trying to climb up out of the eggs and the pieces of toast, and you're worried that she's gonna get ground up, and oh God, it is just so freaking awesome.
That is great. That is great. I'm going to watch it this week.
It's worth it.
I'm laughing. I've got tears in my eyes. I'm laughing at thinking of those scenes. Oh,
I don't know how popular that movie was. Yes.
It was a small hit.
Yeah.
It was one of those ones like it made its money back. Enough people saw it,
Mm-hmm.
So it's considered a success, but it wasn't like continuously breaking box office records.
Yeah.
But it was a small. People saw it. I think it's. As far as movies go, she's always been misused in comedies, as most comedians are once they make the leap. But I think it's her finest. It may not be the best movie she's ever been in, and it's not, but it's her finest moment on screen as a comedic actress.
Yeah.
She's just wonderful in that movie. She's
really
so funny.
She shines.
I got the image of her flying off the bed.
She's like, oh, I can't remember the husband's name. She's like, oh, darling. And she's like, wah!
Trying to have a normal marriage, and she's the size of a doll. That's What did she think was going to happen? If you think about the implications of that scene.
Well, so as a kid, that was never part of what I was thinking. But like as rewatching it as an adult, I was like, oh my God. Like, what would happen there?
I've got to see. They've got to make a porn version of it. Because I want to see her climbing up. Oh, shit.
So, yeah, so we'll kick off with The Incredible Shrinking
That's a
Woman.
great way to start.
Thank you.
That's yay to Tiffany Sisman. I love that movie so much. All right, hold on. Let me scratch off some grease tune here. Little in joke from the last podcast. I've got one. I'll stay with the comedy aspect of it. This is a movie that back in the day they didn't make too many like this. Now they do. It's a romantic comedy.
Yeah.
And all romantic comedies now have to have a silly way for them to hook up. That's usually unbelievable. And they always have to have a hook now. It can't just be two people meeting and being humans.
Right.
But this one, and it might be due to. I'm sorry, I have big lead-ins, as I'm sure you know from last time.
I like it.
It might be my devotion to the actor who I think is one of our greatest character actors, Kurt Russell. I'll say that now.
Okay.
And I also like the actress, Goldie Hawn.
Is this
Overboard? Yes,
Love
it is.
This movie.
87, directed by Gary Marshall. Yeah.
Wow.
I love Overboard. To this day.
Yes.
I watched it, I think, about a year and a half ago. I still love it. It is so funny.
It is.
And again, not being biased, he is so good in that movie.
He is.
And Goldie Hawn is herself, but she's funny.
Yeah.
I love Goldie Hawn.
I do too.
Doesn't always make great movies. And I was almost unsure whether to include Overboard in our cheesy. It is cheesy when I think of it. But it's a well done movie. It's well put together. It's well acted. It's well written.
I wouldn't have even classified it as cheesy because I mean I
but
love
it is cheesy.
I mean it is. The whole premise of the storyline is very cheesy.
The
but
great
it's not,
Edward Herrmann is her stuffy rich husband and.
Oh, that's such a great movie.
It is. It's so funny. And Kurt Russell, for those of you who don't know, she falls overboard on her yacht. She's a rich,
after being
bitchy
a total
woman.
bitch to him when he's trying to do some carpentry.
She's a bigot and a bitch and everything, and a rich, entitled woman.
Yes.
And she falls overboard. I can't remember why. And she's found, and she has no memory. And Kurt Russell is a single father of 3.
3 boys.
Yeah, 3 boys, and trying to eke out a living. Is it ek or eek? Ek out a living. Etch out a living. Ek?
Or eek.
Trying to make a living.
That's 30 seconds of our life we'll never get back.
Right. And we once again apologize to the listeners. Yeah, let's do a whole podcast on, does the toilet paper, does it go under and over?
Please, let's
over
not
and
go
over?
there. Well, I guess it depends what your answer is, but yeah, let's not do that.
Right. I say under. It's easier to rip off, right?
No, over, man.
See?
God damn it.
This is what happens on these podcasts.
God damn it.
You know, movies are life. Anyway, this isn't the heinous shit I was talking about working out, but we got to the toilet paper anyway. No, it's a wonderful movie. It's one of, in my opinion, the best romantic comedies of all time. But I think there still is a cheese factor to it because it's so saccharine sweet, you know.
I guess. I don't know. I wouldn't have classified it that way. I mean, it's a classic, you know, kind of 80s movie, but it wasn't like cheese for me. It was like, I don't know.
Maybe as a male of my gender.
Yeah.
Get it?
I loved it because in real life they're together, and so I just thought it was really fun to see. And they haven't done a lot of acting. I think only like 2 or 3 movies they've ever done.
I think that's it.
Yeah. Oh,
and that's how they met.
On Overboard?
I think.
No? They've been together for a really long time.
Well, she was married to one of the Hudson brothers, Kate's father.
Yeah.
Until the early 80s. And Overboard was 87. Yeah. Well, because Kurt Russell was married to... Here I go, geek boy. Kurt Russell, I believe, was married to Susan Hubley. Who? Exactly. Until like 82 or 3. So I think it was Overboard where they met. It was 87. Filmed in 86, so...
It's funny, I just read like an article about them the other day. Like they had this like photo montage of the 2 of them because they're not married, but they have a really strong relationship, and you know there's zillions of pictures of them happily together.
Yeah, they have 2 kids together. And can I tell you, if this marriage breaks up, I lose all hope.
Right?
I lose all hope.
I'm with you.
I almost lost it with Tim Robbins and Susan Sarandon.
Yes, I mean,
could 2 people be more perfect for one another?
I'm with you on that.
It's ridiculous. But if Kurt and Goldie lose it, I can't.
Apocalypse is coming.
Yeah. I won't be able to.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm still struggling with this being a cheesy movie. I get where you're going, the angle on it.
When I say cheesy on this one, it's not cheesy in a
like Goonies
cardboard
cheesy
sets
kind of.
Yeah. But it's
the storyline.
The storyline's stupid.
Yeah.
You know,
single dad,
it's
3
dumb.
raucous boys who he can't control, and this woman has to come and
she has to learn how to be a person again after being a bitch all her, you know.
Yeah,
and
she doesn't know any better, so she's like, it's foreign to her that she has to act this way in this house.
Exactly.
Because it is foreign to her, but she doesn't know it, and he's just totally taking advantage of her. Good revenge turned into love story.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
All right.
I agree.
Yay. And it was a big hit, so.
Was it a big hit?
Yeah, it was a big hit.
Okay. I'll take your word on that.
And by the way, could 2 people age better than Kurt and Goldie?
I know, they're beautiful. They're still beautiful.
They're really. She's still sexy, and
he's
still
better with age, if you ask me.
Oh, yeah, he's rugged, and he still has that youthful face.
Yeah, I love it.
You know?
Yeah. Give me some facial hair like that. Okay, let's see. Next on my list, I've got so many good ones here.
Yeah.
We're going for serious cheese, so I will go with. I'm gonna just name the year and the actors, and I'm gonna see if you can tell me what this one is.
Let's do it.
1988.
The Accused with Jodie Foster. Wasn't that cheesy? Okay. Anyway.
Gina Davis.
Earth Girls Are Easy?
Oh, damn! I should have started with her. I should have
hope
said
everybody-
Downtown Julie Brown.
I might have still got it.
Really?
I might have still got it, yeah.
Yeah, so I love that movie.
I like it. It's all right.
That is some
Yeah.
serious cheese.
That's some really big cheese.
I
Damon
mean,
Wayans, Jim Carrey, and Jeff
Hairy
Goldblum.
aliens get
Yeah.
makeovers in California.
Hairy, very brightly colored
Bright
aliens.
colored. It's a very brightly
I
colored
think Damon
movie.
Wayans was blue, right?
I thought he
Or
was
was that
yellow.
Carrey? I don't know.
There was a blue one, a red one, and a yellow one. If you
Yeah.
remember that. And they like do the makeovers and they come out and Julie Brown and Gina Davis are like, oh, because their heart throbs under all
Yeah,
that
right.
colorful hair, and the spaceship is like super bright, and that's almost kind of Flash Gordon-y looking
It
spaceship
is.
too.
It is. You're right. And I wonder
Uh,
if that was on purpose.
Yeah, and I mean I know at the end they like fall in love or something. I don't remember the end of the movie, but I remember it.
Come on, they
Yeah,
fall in love.
yeah, it's a.
And that also started their relationship. No, The Fly did. I'm sorry. I
Oh,
misspoke,
okay.
yeah.
I like that movie.
I love that movie.
It's a really good one.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's one I haven't seen in a really long time. It was one that was not available for me to watch when I looked up.
I could stand to see that again.
Netflix or Amazon. It
Really?
wasn't
That
available.
sucks.
No, I know.
Those are the two network. Maybe it's on Hulu somewhere.
I looked on. No, I searched on all of them.
Shit.
It's not available anywhere. So
I don't think anybody cares enough to put it out
probably
there.
not.
Because
It
that was
really
not
cheesy.
a hit.
No,
No,
and I can
not at
totally
all.
see why it wasn't.
Oh.
I mean, it sucked, but I still
It does,
just
but it's
loved
fun.
it.
I
Yeah.
agree, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't love it as much as you do, but I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I use the word love liberally. I liked it a lot.
But wait, she told me she loved me.
Not that kind of love, this kind of love.
Oh,
It's lower on the scale of love.
gushing.
So yeah, that's
Okay, no, that's a good one.
Okay.
That's funny.
Thank you.
And I feel bad. I can't tell you who directed it. I don't remember. I don't recall.
I don't either.
All right, that's all right.
But I'm not a savant, so
That's all right. Actually, Jeff Goldblum and Gene Davis, 1986, and The Fly was their first movie together. All right, no, that's a good one.
Ah.
All right, let's see here. I have a good. I'll get this out of the way. I'm
Yeah.
sure you've never even seen this, and that's fine.
okay.
Sam Peckinpah is one of my favorite filmmakers. He's my number 3 favorite filmmaker, and he also directed my number 3 favorite movie of all time. Most famous for westerns, Wild
Yeah.
Bunch, Pat Garrett, Billy the Kid, Ride to High Country, Junior Bonner, The Getaway, so on and so on. And he had a bad drug problem, bad drinking problem. He alienated studios, and by the mid-70s, he was done.
Nobody wanted to work
Yeah,
with him
no,
anymore.
and no matter what great films came before.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was basically, after doing all these classic films, a director looking for hire. He was
Yeah.
take anything.
Like B would have been too good. He was down to secret.
Oh
movies.
yeah, he was. And I don't know if you remember the song, but he made a movie out of a song. He was off. They already wrote it. It's not like a project that he got off the ground. Convoy. Do you remember that song?
Convoy.
Yeah. Breaker.
Yeah,
This is
I
the
do.
rubber duck. But he made a movie out of it. Did you even know that existed?
Probably not.
In
no.
1978, I actually
Is it
own
called
it.
Convoy?
It's called Convoy, and it stars Chris Christopherson as a rubber duck, and it is a film that tried to, mind you, again, he didn't get the project. He just said, "Yeah, I'll do it." It's a film that tried to capitalize because it was the year after Smokey and the Bandit, so all the good old boy trucker
Which I
shit.
love
was-
that movie.
I almost thought of including that, but it's a cut above cheesy.
It is.
I mean, it's cheesy,
yeah,
but it's
it
a
is.
cut above. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could quote that movie to you too.
Yeah.
But so they did this, and it's not a good script, Convoy,
Uh-huh.
and he's Christopherson's rubber duck, and Burt Young's in it.
Uh-huh.
Polly from Rocky plays Pigpen, of course, because he's always got to look like Polly. And him and a bunch of truckers have a convoy, and they run afoul of a mean sheriff called Dirty Lyle, played by Ernest Borgnine.
Dirty Lyle.
Dirty Lyle.
That's a good name.
And he says, you know what I hate more than anything? I hate goddamn truckers. So I mean, it's just ridiculous from the get-go. And of course, they become like in Smoking the Bandit, they become a renegade convoy chased by state troopers led by Dirty Lyle.
Wow.
And it's a dumb movie. It's not good, even though Sam Peckinpah directed it.
Yeah.
But there's enough in it, like there's the standard bar fight scene, and there's actually an amazing set piece where a truck goes off of a bridge, and the stunt didn't work. It was supposed to topple on its side.
Yeah.
Stuntman almost died.
Oh, no.
It was supposed to go off the bridge and topple on its side. They're in the sand dunes, and it goes off the bridge, catches the edge, a semi, flips completely over, and the part that was supposed to explode when it hit, and the stuntman was going to jump out, exploded too soon.
Oh, shit.
But luckily, he was they have a protective casing in there. That's how they don't get hurt when the cars turn over. And they kept it. And it's one of them. It's in this not too good movie. It's one of the most amazing stunt set pieces ever put on film. It's amazing. It's amazing to see. But the movie's stupid.
Well, I'm just gonna watch that scene then.
Yeah, there you go. The movie, you got to hear this board night saying, "I hate goddamn truckers." But no, it's a stupid movie. It's cheesy. It's ridiculous. And on the special features, they talk to the cast and even Christopherson and the rest of them. Like, yeah, we knew it was silly, but we were working for Sam because we respected him. And James, a little trivia, James Coburn did second unit camera work on that movie because he wanted to get some behind the scenes training. Yeah.
Nice.
But it's a dumb movie. It's a Smokey and the Bandit ripoff. It's stupid. The lines are cheesy. The setups are cheesy. The whole thing is cheesy. The ending is cheesy. But it's and again, I'm not being biased because it's Peckinpah, but there's stuff in it to enjoy. My thumb is actually down on it, but it's a movie I like. If that makes any sense to you, what I just said. My thumb is down on it, but it's a movie I enjoy.
Yeah, you just said the same thing.
Well, I kind of changed the word. Yeah, right.
Okay.
But here, let me say it a different way. It's a movie I like. No. But anyway, Convoy. Yeah, right.
I guess I kind of understand what you're saying. I've never seen it.
Convoy, 1970. I can lay it on you. Anybody who says, I don't want to see that, I'm not going to say, you're crazy, you got to see it. No.
Right. I'm not going to fight for it.
Let me tell you, if you like Smokey and the Bandit, you might enjoy parts of this. Because it's a mess. He was high on cocaine.
Yeah.
He was losing it. And he died 4.5 years later from a heart attack at age 53.
God,
and he looked like he was 70-something. He was awful. But, yeah, and it's a mess of a movie. But there's some cool stuff in it. I like Ernest Borgnine in it. Christopherson's fun. The that set piece is cool. It lasts all 3 minutes. But I don't know. There's something about it that it's kind of fun.
Well, I won't be going out anytime soon to watch it. But,
I was gonna say, rush, get thee to Convoy. No, but it's it's all right.
Cool.
Cheesy movie con.
All right.
Your turn.
Let's see. Next on my list, this kind of crosses over into the horror genre, but it's kind of horror comedy. 1982. I'm just gonna give you the little write-up of the movie. Brother carries his deformed Siamese twin in a basket.
I was about to say, can I stop you there? Basket case.
Yes! Oh, 1982. I
was like,
love
why
that
didn't you give me an actor? Now I know why.
Yeah,
I
because
can't even
nobody
tell you who that guy
knows
is.
in the movie.
I think the director is Frank Henenlotter, is how you pronounce that.
Wow.
Who went on to Basket Case 2 and
terrible.
Remembrances of Basket Case. I'm sure he's doing this. I think he served me a slice when I was in New York.
So yeah, that's some super cheese right there.
That's a dumb movie that I love.
It is. It's a dumb-ass movie. It is super dumb. A little freak in the basket.
Freak in the basket.
So he's carrying his brother around in this basket. They were separated. They're trying to hunt down the doctors who separated them and seek vengeance.
Yeah.
That's
because you wouldn't have wanted that creep not on you.
Right. Like I think there's a scene isn't there a scene where they sew each other back together?
Yep.
Yeah, it's really terrible.
And it's cheesy special effects.
The
guy had no money.
It's awful low budget.
Yeah. And the lead actor, whoever the hell he is, wasn't very good.
No.
He was at one of the horror conventions I went to a few years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I did that one movie.
Yeah, I know.
Freak
He's
in the
sitting there.
basket.
You go past all these other actors, and they have all these lobby cards for you to buy, and they sign it. All these different movies, and he's got Basket Case. It's all Basket Case.
That is hilarious.
Yeah.
Frank Henenlotter was the director. Stars Kevin Van Hentenryck.
Ah, yes, the great Kevin Van Hentenryck.
Yes, with his big long what do they call them?
Filmographies?
Filmographies?
Oh, yeah, his big long
he
what?
did Basket Case 2, Basket Case 3.
Oh, I didn't know there was a 3.
I didn't either.
I don't think anybody does. Did Frank Henenlotter direct?
He played
3?
in a movie called Brain Damage, and he was the man with the basket.
I saw Brain Damage. That's not a good movie. He was the man with the basket. That's
what
funny.
his role was, right?
You're a bastard in the basket. Sorry, little Danny Day-Lewis thing there. Yeah, Basket Case. That's a good one. I reckon one thing about that movie, it's one of those great low-budget New York movies, and it's one of those. It's grimy.
It is
like 70s New York.
Yeah.
It's grimy and ugly and gross looking.
Yeah.
I dig it though. It's not. It's a horror film. It's not scary.
It's not scary. Like it's got some horror in terms of like
gruesome
people get like caught, cut up or scratched up or whatever.
Stupid.
Sliced up.
Freak in a basket, as you said.
Oh
it's
my
so
god. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was one that stuck with me ever since I saw it when I was younger, and I loved it.
No, it's great.
Bad.
It's great. It's fantastic. Yeah, no, that's a good one. I don't know why I didn't come up with that. Let's see here. Should I? Uh-oh, I didn't put any horrors on here. I'm sorry, folks. Here's one that it's not horror. It's kind of sci-fi-ish, thriller-ish.
Uh-huh.
It's Big Cheese. Should I test you? Would that be fun? Would you get it?
Try, and I'm gonna fail, but let's
1984 with Dennis Quaid and Kate Capshaw.
It sounds so familiar. Dennis Quaid. Nope.
Dreamscape. Did you ever see that?
Love that movie. Oh my god, I can't believe I didn't put that on my list. That is a great movie.
Dreamscape. And it is cheesy.
It is so cheesy.
That's one I detest remakes. They could remake that. Now with the
it could be really cool actually.
New special effects and get a little bit of a more serious screenplay going. But yeah, no, it's about how the government uses psychics for good and bad.
Right.
And Dennis Quaid has to, the bad guys, and I don't even remember the reason they're doing it, but they've learned how to enter our dreams. And they use it for good to help us, to get us through nightmares, to find out, I can't remember where I put that,
Yeah.
And then the bad guys get a hold of it and they decide to assassinate the president in his sleep during a dream.
Yes.
And they send Dennis Quaid in to stop it.
Yes.
And the bad guy is David Patrick Kelly from The Warrior. The Warriors come out to play.
Awful in that movie. I hated him the way you're supposed to hate the bad guy. Like,
exactly. He plays a great bad guy. But the special effects are really bad.
Yes.
When they go into the dream worlds.
When he turns into the snake guy.
Snake face.
Oh.
Yeah. They look like those snake-faced dude in Flash Gordon at the beginning there.
Kinda.
The guy that zaps.
Yeah, you're right. And it's got, speaking of Flash Gordon, Max von Sydow.
Max von Sydow, that's right. He's like, well, I had fun doing Flash. Let's do cheesy movies for a few years. That's right. I forgot. But no, it's a fun movie. I actually watched that last year, I think. It's a great movie.
That's one of my favorite movies.
But it's a great movie. I give it on my 5-star scale. I should say a 4-star scale because 5 stars are for The Godfathers, The Clockwork Orange.
Yeah.
But on my 4-star scale, I still give it 3.5 stars.
Yeah.
It's a damn good movie.
It is.
But it is cheesy.
Yeah.
Big time cheesy.
I'd love to watch this with my kid. He's just not old enough yet.
Yeah,
This would freak him out because he's still at that dreams can really fuck you up when you're a kid.
I tossed around the idea of sharing it with Arcade. No, there's too much creepiness in it, even though it's cheesy.
Yeah, there's a lot of creepiness in it.
Yeah, and there's a lot of stuff and there's even a little boy that he has to save. Yeah. And I think for somebody too young, there's a lot of exposition about how psychics work getting into the dream world, and would probably lose a lot of 7-8-year-olds.
Probably.
He's 8, right? Your son, Vaughn.
Yeah, he's 8.
He's 8, yeah. Can I say his name on air, which I already did, and it's too late?
I think I said it the first time.
I think you did too, yeah.
We're good.
But, no, it's Dreamscape. Great movie.
That's a great one. That's totally not on my list, but totally should have been on my list. Two thumbs up for that.
Right on.
All right, let me see what I have on the list here still.
I got a good one.
It is so long. All right, we talked about obviously one of our favorites, Big Trouble in Little China last time, and this one kind of for me is in the same genre. It's actually got a great overlap of cast with Big Trouble in Little China. 1986, Eddie Murphy.
I knew it.
The Golden Child. Oh,
Our
what a
first
great
fight.
one. I know. I told you, I think, when we were going back and forth about what we wanted to talk about, that this was on my list, and you're like, why, dear God? I don't see what you're talking about.
Not a fan, but this is your moment. Take it.
It is. So I think this is great. I love it. He plays this guy who's he's trying to help kids. He's just your everyday kind of guy, good Samaritan. Gets roped into trying to save this, I'll call him like a, little mini Buddha kid that gets kidnapped.
Basically, yeah.
The Golden Child.
By the great Charles Dance, one of my favorite English character
And he
actors.
plays a wicked bad guy.
He does.
Satanic.
Those of you will know him from
seriously
Game of
satanic
Thrones,
guy.
the Lannister.
I don't want to talk about Game of Thrones ever on this podcast.
All right.
I'm bitter about it.
Are you not a fan?
I've been reading those books since they first were published.
See, I haven't read the
gone
books,
off on
so
it.
I'm not
From the
offended.
day that they started to get published, I've
You
been
did
reading
mention
them.
that, yeah.
I had an advanced reader's copy of the very first book, and now it's like a trendy thing. And I'm just mad at people.
Well, you know
jump
me
on the
that I
trend.
don't.
Yeah, I know you.
I'm not like, you know me.
Yeah, but I'm also pissed that to digress way far away from cheese. Great storyline with Game of Thrones going on there. George R.R. Martin has not finished the books, and he's going to finish the series on TV. And I don't know if the books will be. I don't know how it's going to work.
That's a weird thing to do.
But he's ending the series first, so something's going to happen in that series that has not been published in a book yet, which I'm really bitter about because they're long-ass books. They're like, 500 is a small one. 500 pages. They go up to like 900 pages. And I've read a few of them a couple of times. Because they're really good. They're great books. But I read through the first 3 or 4 thinking he was going to finish the series, and he just hasn't done it.
Do you watch the show, or did you?
No, because I wanted to finish the series because I'm a nerd like that, reading it first. And then I don't know. The series of things are never as good as the books are, and I'm a book nerd, so...
I know a lot of people who do read or have read the books, and they have been mad about certain points, but they say for the most part.
It's very true to form, that's what I've heard. So I probably will bend at some point, but, it'll have to I'll have to rent them on HBO Go or something.
Is the Red Wedding in the books?
Yeah. I think it is.
That was one of the most shocking moments on any television show that I've ever watched. Holy shit.
Everybody said, There's actually videos you can go to YouTube and see people watching that moment.
It's like killing off Indiana Jones in the second
people you don't
Indiana Jones film. You're like, whoa!
Yeah.
What'd you do there? Yeah. Exactly.
I'm a true fan.
Wish they would have killed Kate Capshaw's character. What? Sorry, Steven. I know she's your wife. Holy shit. Anyway.
All right, so back to Golden Child.
Yeah. Really? Let's talk about Game of Thrones.
No. I love it. He's funny. He's classic, funny,
He's
Eddie
still
Murphy.
Fun, yeah,
and there's some really cool kung fu-y stuff that happens in it that's, cheese.
I should have watched it again.
And there's the supernatural thing happening, which I just love that, and they mix that in there on the cheese spectrum. It's really, really good. And some really funny parts. I mean, there's some deep parts, but there's some really funny parts.
Yeah.
One of my favorite scenes is they're coming back on a plane ride from Tibet, and what'd you call him? You called him a goblin or something from Big Trouble in Little China. What'd you call the little guy?
Warlock.
Sorry.
Goblin. Look, Victor Wong had a lazy eye, but
oh God.
Victor Wong, the great.
He is in that movie and plays a similar role, but
He's
on
the
Tibetan, stuff going on.
Isn't Wang in that too?
Yes.
That's what I thought. And isn't James Hong in that as well?
There's 3 or 4. Yeah, one of the 3 Elements guys. He's in there. Yeah.
3 Storms. Not that I'm a geek about it.
It's okay.
I believe they're called the 3 Storms.
He's in that too. So there's a lot. I mean, that's why it's a crossover for me with Big Trouble in Little China, because there's a lot of the same actors and the same kind of cheesy feel is happening there. But the scene is they're coming back from Tibet. It's just stupid, and he's listening to those those little earphones they give you to listen to whatever music they were pumping through the plane, and he starts being like, and it just, I don't know, it's just cheese to the max the entire movie.
I will watch that again soon and get back to you. I wanna, because I haven't seen it since the 80s.
Oh, and he goes into a dream where the girl that's sex, he has this sex dream thing with her. It's very...
I don't remember that.
It's so 80s, where she's tied up with toilet paper, and he needs to save her, but then she comes out and starts kung fuing people, and
really?
She's a badass in the movie.
Charlotte Anya, is that right? Am I right?
I'll take
I don't
your word
think I'm
for it.
right. Yeah. I don't know.
Your savant is showing.
But no, it's
I like it. It's just
Yeah.
it's just a cheesy movie.
I'll hold my opinion.
Okay.
I remember not liking it, but I was a teenager, so maybe.
Watch it again.
I will.
right.
I'll watch it again. I'll let you know.
All right.
I'll give you a shout out on the next show if you're not with me. Well, you probably won't be.
Tiff, you're still wrong. It's
Yeah, Tiff, that blows. So anyway, back to Kurosawa. Oh, yeah. So Seven Samurai had a great. Oh, that reminds me, The Golden Child. I'll throw. Okay, let's keep the kung fu-ish thing going. The Last Dragon, 1985.
Still haven't watched it.
Yeah, directed by Michael Schultz. I rewatched it recently. It is god awful great. It's so cheesy. It's a blaxploitation movie mixed with kung fu, mixed with 80s cheese.
Yeah.
Bruce Leroy is the name of the hero. Vanity, we all remember Vanity, I hope. A prince protege is the girl that needs saved. And the bad guy is named Sho'nuff, the Shogun of Harlem.
Oh my god.
And it's stupid, it's dumb. Little kids beat big ninja guys, and it is just it's a lot of fun.
I will have to watch that. But I meant to before we started.
Bruce Leroy gets the ghost of Bruce Lee in him and beats the bad guy, and yeah.
I mean, you sold me at Bruce Leroy, and then you just kept selling me.
Yeah, really. It's so, and there's nothing. What I said is all it is.
Yeah,
and there's nothing else to say. The kung fu scenes are kind of fun. The music is cheesy, bad 80s music. The acting is horrific.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of fun.
Sounds like a winner.
Yeah, right. So I'm there. So yeah, Last Dragon, 1985.
That's going on my to-watch list for
there you
sure.
Go. Watch that, and I'll watch Golden Child, and we'll talk.
It's a deal.
Yeah.
It is a deal.
All right.
All right, next on the list, let's go with one of the funniest teenager getting drunk scenes ever. This would be 1985, Anthony Michael Hall.
The Breakfast Club?
No.
Oh, okay.
Kelly, what's her face?
Oh, Weird Science. I almost put that on there.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite movies.
It is a great movie.
And that's, interestingly enough, the first John Hughes movie to not make a lot of money.
Really?
And I think
loved
it's so
that
fucking funny.
movie.
It's
yes.
hilarious.
I mean, there's definitely, it's got cheese galore, and it's got some really parts where like, why? Why did we go here?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man, Bill Paxton is a big, giant, steaming pile of shit.
Literally.
You can't get any cheesier and
come on, guys. I'm
But
sorry.
Anthony Michael Hall getting drunk at the jazz club or the blues club, I'm sorry, is one of the funniest.
One of the great.
The way his voice is.
So he called her on the telephone. What this fool talk about on the telephone, man?
And he gets like a list, be like, "What this fool talking about?"
Oh my god.
Yes. Ugh.
When they're driving home.
Yes.
Give me the keys.
Give me the keys.
He ain't even got his driver's license yet, Lisa. Yeah. That is so funny. I've always said this. That is one of the all-time great moments in comedies.
I agree.
Ever.
Completely.
That whole sequence.
Yes.
And it was like, we already laughed at Anthony Michael Hall in 16 Candles, but you're like, oh my god, this kid has great comedic timing.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that movie. I met the other guy, which nobody remembers.
Nobody.
Ilian Michael Smith.
Yeah.
Mitchell Smith, excuse me. I met him 2 horror fests ago.
Oh, really?
He was there. I don't know why he hasn't been in any horror movies,
Yeah.
but I shook his hand, told him I was, and he's like, hey, he was very thrilled to be talking to someone because there weren't a lot of people at his table.
He was great in that movie.
He was very funny.
He was a very
Except in that
good
scene, you notice he was like, preach on, man. And
yeah.
I'm like, you're not, shut up.
Yeah.
You're not doing as good as he is.
Right. So it's just the whole premise of it is like, every kid wishes they could like do those crazy kind of experiments where they bring their toys to life, but this one they like put together the perfect Barbie doll into this beautiful
Kelly
hot
LeBrock,
chick. She is hot in that movie.
Before she married Steve Seagal and got a drinking problem.
God, I know what happened there.
She married Steve Seagal. She's like, who am I married to? Hand me that vodka, will you?
I'm just gonna start drinking.
Oh, But anyway, no, it's a great movie, and I love everything. The bad guys, the real bad guys from The Road Warrior show up and crash their party.
Yes!
That's the real guy from The Road Warrior.
Yes, with the motorcycles and the, oh my god.
And then when they back him off, he's like, We don't have to talk about this, do they? I don't want to lose my teaching job, you know.
Isn't The Hills Have Eyes?
The Hills Have, that's the guy who says that line I just said, yeah.
Yeah, oh man, that is such a great movie.
I never tossed off! I never tossed off! I love that movie. And I love her first line. She comes out and, what do you two maniacs want to do first?
Yes.
And they look at each other. They have no idea. They didn't think it was going to work.
Standing in the shower with their underwear on or their pants on, and she's like taking a shower. They're frozen.
And the great Oingo Boingo theme song.
Yes.
Love it. Love it.
Good.
Yeah, good. That's a great one. I almost put it on here, but I wasn't sure. Yeah, because I love it so much.
Yeah, that
I think it's a great movie.
Exactly.
I almost wasn't sure.
Exactly.
All right, let's stay in comedies. I know you're with me on this one, and I didn't know this about you, but I was glad to hear it. Real Genius.
Oh, love it.
Another one of my all-time favorite comedies.
Almost didn't make it to my list for the same reason you just said.
Yeah.
The other one, because I love it so much. It's almost it surpasses cheesy for me.
Exactly. Val Kilmer. Hilarious. One of the all-time great comedy performances again.
Yeah.
From Val fucking Kilmer. Yeah, he is so funny. It came. There was a time in the 80s, I remember. In a 2-3 year period, they did all these science movies. Real Genius, Weird Science, My Science Project, and Real Genius was the only one that made money, which is strange to me, because nobody knew Val Kilmer, nobody knew anybody in it. It's so funny. It's Val Kilmer is basically playing the Chevy Chase role, and he does it so well.
He does
everything
awesome.
He says is a one-liner, and everything he says is funny.
Yeah.
And you got Laszlo, who lives in the closet.
Laszlo Holyfield.
That's
Holyfeld,
right.
yes.
Lives in the closet.
Oh my God.
And who's that guy that keeps going in our closet? Laszlo.
Yeah.
He says it matter of fact.
Yeah.
Laszlo.
Yeah.
It is so funny. Great popcorn ending.
The popcorn, yes, and Professor Jerry Hathaway is like a dick supreme in
Played
that
by
movie.
the great William Atherton, who unfortunately plays that so well. That's all he ever plays.
I know, he's always like the giant prick in movies, isn't he?
Even in Die Hard, he's a reporter, but he's a giant prick reporter.
Douche. Yeah.
I love it. Love that movie.
I love that movie too. Also because it's like a nerds are awesome movie.
Yeah, it is.
It really shows like it's cool to be smart and to do cool stuff, and like you don't have to get you don't have to be a loser at the end of the day if you're a nerd.
And what's Val Kilmer? It's Chris something.
Hold on.
I don't remember his last name, but he's asked, "Are you Chris so-and-so?" And he says, "I hope so. I'm wearing his underwear." Just little things like that, but his delivery is so funny.
When he takes the
Chris Taylor?
The liquid
ice,
nitrogen, and he like shaves it off and uses it in the. He's just so smart. He is so smart. That is just, and I like the music in that movie too. There's a lot of really good.
Everybody Wants to Rule the World.
It is Chris Knight.
Chris Knight, thank you.
Yeah, everyone. Yeah, that's Tears for Fears.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh man,
that's a great movie. It's so funny. Real Genius, 1985. Directed by the Martha Coolidge, who directed Valley Girl, another one of my favorite 80s movies.
Oh yeah, Valley Girl. God, I haven't thought about that movie in a really long time.
I love it. I love my favorite scene in Valley Girl is when Nick Cage breaks up with her because she's sticking with her friends and they don't accept him.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Fuck you!" And he turns back around, like, "For sure, totally, fuck you!" Yeah, I love that. I want you to start with your next one. I mean, you go next, is what I meant.
Wait, I do want to reflect just for a moment that I think it's very interesting that I would say 95% of the movies that are mentioned here in this one and in the other one
80s?
are 80s.
I was going to bring that up too later, yeah. Isn't that wild?
It is, and so I've been thinking a lot about that. Like, what does that say? Can we not make good cheese movies nowadays, or did they just all like? Was that where everybody was back then?
You know what I think it is? Because I was going to bring it up later, and I thought about this last night as I was re-looking at my list. I think that now, with movies like, I don't have any examples. Scream is a good example. We are so self-aware now. And movies are so self-aware when they do that they don't just say, let's have this scene be, let's have a cheese factor, but let's keep it this. We always have to be winking at the audience, like,
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
See what we're doing
wink,
here?
Wink, nudge, nudge. Yeah.
See what we're doing
yeah.
here?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that the quote-unquote art of the cheesy movie well done is gone.
I agree with you. I really think it's gone. That makes me really sad. I mean, it wasn't just the movie itself. I mean, it was a whole variety of things, I think, in the 80s that made cheese what they were. The music, very synthesized crap, and which I love. I love it.
I own every John Carpenter score, except Big Trouble is unavailable. Why, I don't know.
Oh, my God. No, I love that kind of music. I mean, it's, a lot of it's awful, but I love it. It's my favorite. The outfits that they wore, the cuts and the shoulder pads and
clothing.
Oh my God!
Like
yes, the stripes, the polka dots, and the Oh my God!
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, and
the hairs,
the hairstyles. I was just gonna say the
hairstyles.
Hairstyles. Yeah, so I think it was a whole bunch of stuff that was just there, and it all worked in this beautiful way together.
Yeah.
And you could never do that today. And people don't have the patience for it, I guess.
No,
I
think
know.
that's it.
And it's just terrible.
We're too quick to roll our eyes and
sad.
write something off. And like I said, we're too self-aware.
Yeah.
And I think that's it. I think it's a lost art.
God, it makes me
to be able
want
to
to
do it
cry.
well. Yeah, me too.
Ugh.
Most of the time I go to the movies now. I see less and less. Not only because I'm a father and a family man, but I remember the days when, holy shit, there's 6 movies coming out that look so great this week. And now I'm like, really, that's out?
Yeah.
Maybe something better will come out. I go to the movies way
it also
less
costs
than
like,
I
what,
used to.
$50
and
to go to the movies?
$9,000 yeah, to see a movie that I thought was
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing it. But,
Oh, we should figure out a way to bring that back.
We should.
Because that would be
Let me get my foot in the door here, and we'll do something.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. But I want you to do the next one.
Okay.
And do a good one for yourself. Something that you can elaborate on for a minute or two. And just lead us into a good. I'll.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with One Crazy Summer.
I've got it on my list.
Okay.
But you start.
Okay, One Crazy Summer. John Cusack, Demi Moore. Really weird pairing. The two of them are together, but I love everything about this movie. I love it. I like the music in it. I love that there is some illustration that's thrown into this. John Cusack is a guy named Hoops. He's going off to hang out with his uncle for the summer, taking his little sister. Their dog has got a collar around its neck. Everybody makes fun of the dog. It's can't you love about this movie? Demi Moore's about to lose her house. Her and John Cusack somehow get together and work out a way to save her house from this awful rich man and his awful rich son, who are just assholes that want to just tear down the property. And it's fun. It's totally goofy. Again, good music. It's just summertime the whole time, and you're feeling it. And in 1986, I don't remember who directed this movie, but it is awesome. I think there's some other. Who else is in that movie?
I agree, it's hilarious.
Who else is in that besides John Cusack and Demi Moore? I think there's some other well-known.
Now, am I mixing it up with Better Off Dead, or is he in both of them?
He's in both of them.
No, I mean Curtis Hanson, Booger from Revenge of the Nerds. I haven't seen either of them in a long time.
See, I was just thinking of Booger, but I don't think that he is in. I don't think he's in One Crazy Summer.
I don't think he's in. You're right. No.
I think he's in Better Off Dead.
One Crazy Summer. I think Bill and I brought it up for a second. Something led us to that a while back. It's a funny fucking movie.
It is funny.
And we might as well talk about them both at the same time, because guess what? I've got them both right here.
I think Better Off Dead.
Better Off Dead.
Also on my list.
They're both starring John Cusack, and they're both directed by a guy who went nowhere. Savage Steve Holland. Yeah. His last movie that I saw was How to Get Ahead in College or something. And it was terrible.
Yeah.
But he has this, or he had, at least with these two gems, this weird way of making movies. Like he threw in everything.
It was. There was everything.
There was potty humor. There was romance. There was
animation.
Goofy. There was animation. The Cute and Fuzzy Bunnies.
Yeah.
And
by the way, I hate rabbits. And everybody.
Do you really?
Yes, everybody in my family knows this.
Who?
There's a story behind it.
Okay.
But they are the Cute and Fuzzy Bunnies every time I think about them. For me,
hilarious,
I hate them. Yeah, I got bit by a rabbit once.
Oh, is that why?
It was
I
my
got bit
pet.
by a horse, but I want to own one.
But it was my pet, and I
And
let it
it's
out.
betrayal.
It betrayed me because I let it
Yeah.
out to eat some like fresh dandelion green by itself in the yard, and when I went to bring it back in, it was like, "Fuck you, bitch!"
I'm not done.
And it like bit through
Yeah.
a long sleeve shirt and a jean jacket.
Hey, hey.
And I still have a scar on my arm from it.
Holy shit.
So yeah, go fuck yourself, Ashes, you piece of shit rabbit. Fuzzy bunny, bitch.
This is a message to the ASPCA. I love rabbits.
I love animals,
No,
just
I know.
not rabbits.
I still have a jean jacket that I don't wear anymore because
man.
I would not wear it.
I wore this. I think it was actually my stepdad's jean jacket that he gave to me, and for whatever
Yeah.
reason, it had this like big embroidered like shooting star in the back. So awful.
Mine
and
is
I
just a Levi's
loved
jacket.
it.
Yeah.
I loved it.
That's great.
But anyways, we
Like
digress.
that old NBC thing, the more you know. Ding,
Yeah.
ding, ding. Remember
Exactly.
that? Star shoots like with the
exactly
rainbow.
what it looked like.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's Hoops, who cannot shoot basketball for his life.
No, I know,
He's with,
it's funny.
having to battle the dickhead son and his dickhead dad.
And the guy is the main bad guy antagonist, I guess, in a
Yeah.
comedy, is played by, I don't remember, Mark Metcalf is his name.
Okay.
The guy who played Niedermeyer in Animal House, the great Niedermeyer, the great yelling guy. Yeah, and he's in the Twisted Sister video.
Yes.
What do you want to do?
Yeah.
Yeah, he played the dad. I mean, there's so much comedy in this that shouldn't work, but
Yeah,
it does.
it does.
There's a scene where, and I think it's Bill Murray's little brother, the youngest Murray, Joel Murray.
Yes.
They bury him up to his neck.
Yes.
And they
Oh,
leave.
yes.
And then a big fat guy sits over
And
him
eats
and
a
he's
can
eating
of beans?
a can of beans. Come
Oh,
on, that's
I know.
retarded. We shouldn't laugh at
The
that.
next thing he's thinking,
But
they're
it
pulling him
works.
out of the stand, giving him out. Nobody wants to give him the mouth to mouth.
But it works. It's funny. And
So
my
good.
dad, who is a hard sell on anything
Yeah.
youth oriented, loved that movie.
Did he
We
like
used to
Better Off
watch
Dad
it.
too?
No, he didn't.
Oh.
But that one he did, and we watched it on HBO almost every time it was on.
I was just telling my kids about the scene where the two little bratty girls on the ferry are making fun of Bosco the dog.
No, yeah.
And so the someone had told the little girl, like, if don't make a face like that because if someone slaps you on the back, your face is gonna stay like that. So those little girls are making fun of the dog. She comes up and smacks them on the back, and then they stand up and they take their hands off, and their faces are still.
Yeah.
And you see them
That's
like
funny.
later in the movie, still screaming and running with these like
Yeah.
monster faces.
I mean, you've got like jokes like that. Like listening to this, if we hadn't seen it,
Yeah.
I would be like, really?
What the
Is
fuck
that
are you
supposed to
talking
be
about?
funny?
Yeah.
But when you see it in the
Oh,
content,
it's
it's
so
funny.
good.
The scene, they're having a pool party. The father is like some kind of land developer
Yes.
guy, and he's got all the Japanese businessmen
Yeah.
there trying to invest. And there's a guy that shows up in a Godzilla-like costume, wreaking havoc.
Oh yeah.
It's ridiculous, but it all works. It's so funny and it's so cheesy and dumb.
Oh, I
and
love it. It's the
a great
uncle
movie.
that like is trying to win the radio contest
he's
all
always in there
summer.
forever, and he's like, yeah. Oh, that's
good.
great. It's a
So
great
good.
movie. I like it better than Better Off Dead, and Better Off Dead is the more remembered one.
Yeah, I think I'd say I like that one better than Better Off Dead.
It's crazy.
I really
It's
like them
nuttier.
both. Yeah,
It's crazier.
It is.
Special shout out, Diane Franklin,
Mhm.
who played the girlfriend in Better Off Dead and was also in the great lost 80s treasure, The Last American Virgin, is going to join the podcast soon. The podcast group soon.
That is very exciting.
Yes.
Oh,
And
very
I've been
exciting.
talking to her people, and she's pretty cool with it. So
Nice.
she'll be added to the group soon.
Welcome, welcome.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I guess we could talk Better Off Dead at the same time. You want to talk? a
Yeah,
little
I mean
bit
that's
about
fine.
Better Off Dead?
I don't remember that as well. I remember, of course, the great "Somebody threw away a perfectly good white boy." You know, but
Fat boy across the street has the hot
Oh,
French
that's her,
student.
the French
Yeah, come
Diane Franklin.
stay.
Yeah,
And he's awful, and his parents are awful. And
I remember that, and he's got a crush on her, right? But he's an asshole. kinda?
Yeah,
yeah.
He's just this terrible,
Yeah.
awkward guy, and she just has to go outside and like just vent because she's so like can't stand the situation she's in, and she's throwing the snowballs at the sign, and like her and John Cusack are talking, and then he's like trying to conquer this whole like K2.
Oh, that's
slope
right. It ends with the
thing.
little ski challenge. Yeah.
And man, I love that movie. Too.
And Curtis Armstrong, Booger from Nerds is.
That's
yeah.
right.
And he's basically playing Booger.
Yes,
Same
basically.
part, yeah. Same role.
That's
yeah.
when I fell in love with John Cusack. Those movies back then.
That and The
He was
Sure
just-
Thing. The Sure Thing. You remember that?
No.
Rob Reiner's second movie. John Cusack goes cross country to meet The Sure Thing, this hot blonde. in California, and he is traveling with Daphne Zuniga. Anybody remember her? No. And of course they hate each other on the road trip. Kooky stuff happens, and they fall in love. Sure
I don't
thing.
know that I've seen
Well, you
that.
should see that. It's a great movie.
I mean, smack right in the middle of the 80s, so
Yeah,
it's
it is.
my genre.
It's outstanding.
Anything in that decade, I'll watch it.
Me too. Yeah, and have. So yeah, definitely check out The Sure Thing. That's a great
Tim
movie.
Robbins is in that.
Anthony
Edwards. Wow.
I would say that it's a lost treasure, but well, it is because it was a big hit at the time, but it seems to be forgotten.
Huh.
Yeah.
Not treasury enough.
Maybe not. Yeah, because it was well reviewed. Well, no, that's not true because on my Lost Treasures, my first one, I mentioned that a couple of them were hits and were well reviewed, but in time they're forgotten. Ergo, that makes them a lost treasure.
That's true.
So yeah, but two really, really funny. And let me warn anybody who says I'm gonna go rent both of those. One Crazy Summer and Better Off Dead. Extremely lowbrow comedy.
Totally.
It's something that an 8-year-old would just love, you know?
Yeah.
And guess what? A 46-year-old still laughs at it.
I'm with you.
I don't know who that is because I'm 30, but I've heard that there's a 46-year-old who laughs at it. I've got one that I can just throw out real fast because there's not a lot to say about it.
All right.
1978, directed by Matthew Robbins, who went on to do the not very good Batteries Not Included. Remember that?
Yeah, that's actually on my list.
Is it really?
I like that movie. Yeah.
Oh,
But
okay.
I didn't write anything else about it besides its year because I was like, I don't know if I want to mention that one.
Go ahead.
So
But
go ahead.
Corvette Summer. What?
Don't
Who?
even
No,
know
yeah.
what you're talking about.
1978, right after Star Wars. That was Mark Hamill's next movie.
Oh.
And Annie Potts, the great Annie Potts. All of you ladies will remember her from Pretty in Pink.
Yeah.
He's a guy who works on cars and makes this super duper Corvette during the summer with his buddies and meets a hooker played by Annie Potts, the great movie tradition of Hooker with a Heart of Gold.
Uh-huh.
They have a romance. Somebody chases them. They get away. They fall in love. They soup up the car even more. Corvette Summer's over. But it's an enjoyable little movie, and that's really all I have to say about it.
Wow.
But it's almost a lost, I wouldn't say a treasure, but it's stupid, it's cheesy, it's dumb, really low budget. I can't believe that Mark Hamill at the time could have picked anything probably and chose Corvette Summer. Annie Potts is fun, the dialogue is cheesy. But it's fun. It's a fun little movie.
I've never even heard
Hanging out in L.A. with a hooker, driving a red, souped-up Corvette. Corvette Summer,
Got
1978.
all the right pieces to make a cheesy
with Luke
movie.
Skywalker. It's awesome. Yeah. I mean, it's dumb, but it's a cheesy movie I enjoy.
You said what year was that? 19 what?
78.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, well, here we go. Let's jump back into the 80s because that's where I'm most comfortable.
I love the 80s.
This has Phoebe Cates in it. She probably, you might recognize the actor. I don't remember his name is. Date with an Angel, 1987. I liked this movie.
Well, folks, that's it for this show.
We're going serious cheese here. I guess should that be my Grease 2?
It was I would say
Probably.
that's the It's Michael something or another, and the only reason I know that he was big on General Hospital, and one of my high school girlfriends watched General Hospital.
He was cute. I remember
Michael
being
Knight? No, that's not it. I don't know.
No, it's Chris. So, Guy is about to get married to Phoebe Cates and somehow finds
And of course, she's the snooty bitchy.
She is snooty bitchy. Finds a injured angel in his swimming pool.
As we all,
Has to keep her hidden. She can't talk at first. Memory is serving me correctly. And they slowly, I think, fall in love over time. And it's really cheesy and really, really bad. But I really loved it. I don't know. I was just 1987. I was not a teenager yet. So I was in that pre-hormonal starting to think guys are super cute, and that's probably why I liked the movie, because I thought the guy was really cute, and I liked Angel. He
was a handsome cuss.
He was.
And funny enough, the angel played by, I think you pronounce it, Emmanuelle Saunier.
Mm-hmm.
She was a respected French actress just starting, and she went on to do a few great French movies in the 90s, and
She was beautiful. I remember her
She
being
was
beautiful.
very beautiful. If you're going to cast an angel,
she was
holy
beautiful.
for holies, yeah.
Yeah.
She was fantastic.
So I don't have much more to say other than like just I don't know. It was one that really stuck with me when I was a kid, and I loved it.
Yeah, it's okay. It was. I remember it being very popular. I was a senior in high school at the time. It was very popular amongst the ladies in school.
Yeah.
And it was a not a hit at the box office, but man, when that hit HBO,
Yeah. They
all
played the
bets
shit
were off.
out of
Oh
it. Yeah.
Jesus! And everybody saw it,
Yeah.
and the girls watched it 100 times. And
All right, so it is
taped
not a Grease 2 because like
no,
nobody
you're
can
right.
say
It's
that about
still
Grease
better
2.
than Grease 2.
Okay.
I don't think we're ever gonna hit a Grease 2.
All right.
Yeah, it is still a better movie as a movie, and I confess I hated Date with an Angel.
Oh, okay.
But it's
I couldn't
still
tell.
a better movie. It's still a better movie as a movie than the god-awful Grease 2 that Anthony likes and knows all the music from.
That's okay. We still love you.
We're gonna score tonight. Alright. Alright. Let's see. I'll do, you brought a John Hughes. I'll see you that John Hughes and raise you another.
All right.
This one is from 1987, starring Kevin Bacon and Elizabeth McGovern.
Okay.
She's having a baby.
Oh, I love that movie.
It's a great movie, but you cannot tell me that is not one of the cheesiest movies. I used to say, I love this movie, but it's really gay, but that's not PC anymore. So
Alec Baldwin's
it's
in that
now
also,
cheesy.
isn't he?
He is, in
Yeah.
a very serious role.
Douche.
Yeah, he is big, yeah. It's so, again, I said this earlier about something else. It's so sweet, and it didn't have enough bite like we're used to from John Hughes.
Yeah.
And it's a cliched story. You know, they're
Yeah.
married, they're newlyweds. She gets pregnant.
Yeah.
He's freaking out. He
Yeah.
thinks his life is ending.
He wants to be a writer, but he has to go in and do this
Yeah.
like ad copy work all the time, and he
Yeah.
fucking hates his
He hates
job.
his job.
The
He
commute
feels
to
stifled.
work. Yeah.
He lives in a community where, you know, everybody's, you know, oh, I got a new lawnmower engine. Oh yeah,
Oh,
what'd
Bob
you
just
get?
washed his dog.
Yeah,
You can tell
exactly.
he scalds him every
and
summer.
he is just suffocating.
Yeah.
But he misinterprets that.
Yeah.
And of course, at the end, he realizes, oh, I love my life, my wife, my...
I'll tell you, I have the song "This Woman's Worth" from that movie.
I tell you,
because
that
it's
is one of the few
beautiful.
songs that has ever made me cry when I
So
heard it
every
the
time
first
I-
time.
every
And
time
not
I
because of
listen
the
to it.
movie.
No, every
because
time
of
I
the
listen
song.
to it, I cry when I listen to that.
I have
song.
the whole
It's-
soundtrack.
It is beautiful.
Yeah, it's a beautiful song. And I love Kate Bush anyway. She's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's a great movie. It's so cheesy though. It's so like it's very uneven. He goes from serious scenes to
Yeah.
silly in his mind dance numbers. Remember, he comes
Yeah.
out to the lawn,
Yes.
sees everybody mowing,
With the
and they do this
mowing,
big
or when
dance
he's
number.
like at the studio and there's all that crazy shit happening at the studio.
Yeah, and he's got to hold the baby and he's freaking out.
Yeah.
And to really cheesily, badly written scenes of them trying to be natural.
Yeah.
But it's a movie I like.
I love that
It's
movie.
so cheesy, yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. It's great sound. John Hughes, if nothing else, and I love John Hughes.
Yeah.
His soundtracks are the shit.
They're awesome.
I love them. Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
Love
His
them
movies
all.
are fantastic, but he's like double whammy because
Yeah.
the music is awesome too.
Exactly.
I really like that movie. It's one I've watched
And Kevin
many
Bacon's
times.
wonderful.
He is.
Yeah.
He is.
He's really good.
And Alec Baldwin like has that one scene where he's like he gets really
Tells him the
emotional.
truth?
And
Yeah.
he's like crying. Well, the one where he's like with the
With
the
McGovern.
wife.
Oh, yeah, because he's really in love with her.
Yeah.
And he always has been.
Yeah. Really,
Yeah,
really
it's great.
deep until he turns back into a douche.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And he brings that bitchy chick with him to
Yeah.
visit. Yeah.
That was a good
It's a good
one.
movie, yeah.
I completely agree with you on
All
that.
right.
Okay, my list is getting smaller here.
Mine too.
Let's
Well,
see.
it's chilly in here.
That's what they all say.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Shrinkage! There's shrinkage! That's for all you Seinfeld fans.
So this one I was just talking about with my son, Vaughn, the other day, because I think he would actually appreciate this movie. 1989, Fred Savage, Howie Mandel.
Oh, the other one. I'm about to say The Wizard. Little Monsters.
Yes.
I like that movie.
I think that's really good.
That was hated. Critics ripped that to shreds. I don't love it, but I'm like, it was all right.
So the ending of it, I didn't like at all. It didn't.
I
It
remember.
kind of petered out at the end. I felt like it just goes flat at a certain point once they are like way underground and they meet the super bad monster guy, and that gets really fucking weird.
Yeah,
the face
you're
comes
right.
off and
Yeah.
stuff. But all the stuff leading up to that,
It's like they
it's,
forgot their audience.
Yeah, or they were trying to whoever wrote it just got tired of writing it and didn't know how to tie off all the loose ends.
Yeah.
But the beginning part of it's like really fun. It's a movie that can relate to kids. Like, the monster's under your bed, and this kid gets a chance to meet the monster under his bed and actually go under the bed and see that whole world. And I thought that was really
neat.
creative and fun.
I liked it.
It is super cheesy. It's
really?
Fred.
Like even the makeup, which is still
bad.
good because you can't tell it's Howie Mandel.
You can't tell it's him.
But it's not good makeup.
No, it's
terrible.
terrible.
Really cheesy looking.
It's like, rubber horns.
Including the thing at the end there, the bad monster.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I just like that movie. I'll probably watch it with my kid pretty soon.
I think I'll show that to our kid. I forgot about it.
They're at that age where they would actually relate to it.
He'd dig it.
Yeah.
Because I've showed him Monster Squad. He loves that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's different, but it's along that same line.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Little Monsters. I thought you were going to say The Wizard for a minute. I was scared. Remember that?
No.
Christian Slater and Fred Savage, maybe the same year.
No.
Video game wizard trying to win a video game.
Oh.
It's supposed to be like a Karate Kid thing with video games. It's terrible.
Oh, that's bad.
All right.
What you got?
Let's see. I got to do a double whammy here.
Okay.
Because they're the same coin, directed by the same guy. 1987 is the first one, and 1983 is the second one. Both directed by a guy named Alan Arkush, who makes. He was a big music guy. He was the Cameron Crowe of his day, only he didn't make serious films. First one's Rock and Roll High School in 1977, starring P.J. Souls and the Ramones. And the second one is Get Crazy in 1983, starring Malcolm McDowell, Lou Reed, and a bunch of other people. Just talk about it briefly. Rock and Roll High School is one of the great, I think it's, in my opinion, even though it's a dead thing now, the greatest drive-in movie ever made. It's fucking awesome. P.J. Souls goes to a P.J. Souls from the original Halloween, the girl who got strangled by the phone, shoulder boobies. I have my picture with her from one of the horror fests. She didn't show her boobies, but we're just standing there. I had my hat on, if that means. But she goes to a high school and she loves the Ramones and she wants the rock and roll. And the high school, we don't accept rock and roll here and that kind of thing. And then of course the Ramones do the school and break through and it's just a ridiculous, stupid, cheesy to the nth degree rock and roll comedy. And it's a lot of fun. They're trying to do tests on what rock and roll does to teenagers. They subject mice to rock and roll. They play the Ramones for the mouse. The next thing you know, they cut back to, and this is what we played them 3 hours of rock and roll, all the Ramones, and this is what happened. And the mouse is in leather smoking. It's ridiculous, but it's so funny. And of course, I don't know if you're a Ramones fan. If not, you should be. The music is phenomenal, and at the end, it culminates in a big concert.
Yeah.
They do 6 of their biggest songs, and it's really the Ramones playing themselves, and
that's cool.
It's funny, and they're trying to feed Joey Ramone lemongrass, and it is ridiculous. But yeah, and on the flip side of that coin, directed by the same guy, 1983, Get Crazy, tells the story of the story. I use that term graciously, yeah.
Okay.
There's a rock and roll palace getting ready to close its doors, so they're throwing one big concert, and they're trying to get all the big people who came up there to go back and play. And Malcolm McDowell, in one of his best performances, and I mean that in a very Kurt Russell, Jack Burton way.
Okay.
He's hilarious. He plays this coked out Mick Jagger type, and he is so funny in it. It is hilarious. And again, the movie's the same thing. It's ridiculous. They're kicking poodles, and there's a giant joint that's running around in the movie talking to people. Hey guys, and, it's retarded.
Okay.
And Lou Reed plays a guy. He's an old, burnt-out rocker, much like Lou Reed. And they keep calling him, telling him, it's almost showtime, you got to come. And whenever they cut to him, he's in his apartment, and he's sitting there with a guitar. There's cobwebs everywhere. There's cobwebs coming off of him.
Waiting.
Because he's an old... Yeah. And he writes a song about trying to make it to the show, and it culminates in this kind of cool concert with this cool music, and much like Rock and Roll High School did. But it's the same kind of thing. It's crazy, silly, funny, just batshit.
Yeah. Okay, I dig that. I haven't seen it, but that sounds.
Rock and Roll High School is the better film.
Oh, really?
But they're both great.
Because I feel like I want to watch the second one more.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Get Crazy's. Get Crazy's the craziest one of them. But yeah. Hey, see what I did there? I took the title.
Nice
and then I
wordplay,
flipped
Anthony.
used the same word. No, but they're great. They're both and extremely cheesy and extremely fun.
Yeah.
They're a blast.
I'll check it out.
Yeah.
All right.
I got you on the life-size joint talking to people, didn't I?
That's what it was. You won me over when you said joint.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I have a couple more.
That's all right. Yeah.
This
we'll each
one,
do a couple more.
This
That'll
one,
be perfect.
I know you like this one. It again goes down that horror genre.
That one.
1988. I was gonna say Popcorn Monsters and Cotton Candy Cocoons.
Popcorn Monsters and Cotton Candy Cocoons. 88?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not it.
Killer Clowns from Outer
Oh
Space.
shit, son of a bitch. I was gonna put that on here.
You should have.
I know. I don't know why I didn't.
One.
I own that on Blu-ray. That's how much I like
I'm
that.
proud of you because
love it. I love
is the cult classic.
It is so
fun. Good, and it is so bad that it's good. It is one of those.
And again, like a lot of these that we talked about, Flash Gordon especially, purposely. Yeah.
Yeah, and I love the clown's makeup in this movie. It's like
big ass heads.
Yeah, or that little midgety one. Like he's my favorite guy. I mean, they're what people who hate clowns see when they look at clowns.
Yeah, definitely.
And the dialogue is awful. The storyline is awful. But I just absolutely, the first time I saw that movie, totally fell in love with it. It is so...
Killer Clowns? I love that film.
It is so good. Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
That's great. For me, the funniest line in that movie, and it is a comedy, but there's not a lot. A lot of the jokes fall flat.
Yeah, it's flat. Yeah.
But I laugh at it every time. There's a cop walking his beat at night. Did I say bead? Walking his beat at night. Thank you. And he's on. It's this dark street, and under a street lamp is one of the clowns, just standing there, not moving, not making any noise, holding this enormous pie. You know, we all know clowns with pie fights. And the cop walks up to him, and there's a long pause, and he's like, "Hey, you. What you gonna do with that pie, boy?" And then he just nails him with the pie. And it's so funny to me. Everybody out there's probably like, yeah. It's so funny to me.
It's so
like, of course. I mean, he's holding it in the position ready to throw it. What you gonna do with that pie,
There's so many clown. Like, I mean, they take the clown, you know, whatever that is, the whole thing about clowns, every part of it, and they've like interwoven it into this
Their
movie.
ship is a big top tent.
It's a big top tent. They've got like the little popcorn monster things. I think at one point they're walking a balloon dog.
Yeah, they are. That's right.
Man.
I forgot that.
And they like when they capture people, they wrap them up in these like cotton candy cocoons.
Right, thank you. I don't know why that didn't come to me.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, great choice. Yeah, I almost did. I don't know why
good.
I didn't.
Yeah.
That's right. Fantastic. We'll do a couple more, and then we'll end on a big one that I know we both agree with.
Okay.
Unless you hit it first.
Okay.
I was gonna do. I'm not gonna do that. I've got another one I'm ashamed of, but not on a Grease 2 level.
Okay.
1987, directed by Gary Goddard, who did this film, and it was supposed to be his big foray into filmmaking, and ever since then and up to this day does those little, in Disney World, you know how when you're in line and you see those little entrance videos like welcome to this ride, that's what he directs now because of
this movie,
Masters of the Universe, starring Dolph Lundgren.
Oh yes, that's a good one.
It is a good one.
It is a good one.
So bad and cheesy.
Yeah.
How they got Frank Langella to play Skeletor is beyond me.
Well, the hype. I mean, do you remember how big? Maybe you're a little too old for this. He-Man was the fucking shit when I was
First of all, folks, I am not too old for this. I mean, I was 14 at the time, but
okay,
no, I know. Yeah,
he was the shit.
I know he was.
And I mean, my brother was so into him
So
at
was
Castle
mine.
Grayskull, and I even, as a girl, was not to be sexist, but I was totally into playing with He-Man. I wasn't like, He-Man's too masculine for me. I thought he was awesome.
You also had She-Ra, eventually.
She-Ra, of course. With the swords. I loved them. And so that movie, I grew up in Juneau, Alaska. We got movies like 2 years after everybody else.
Have you heard of this Godfather?
Yeah. That one, like, we was so hyped up to see that movie when it finally came there that it was just I loved it because of the I think the atmosphere of what we were anticipating the movie being.
I was 16 when it came out, and I remember being hyped up just because it looked good.
Yeah.
It looked cool.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, they're going to do something with this. And they didn't really. And it was really, and even Dolph Lundgren, who is not known for doing good movies, has said that, I wish I could erase that one from my resume. Of all these movies he's done, that's the one. And I think that's a bit unfair because it is really enjoyable.
It is.
It's so much fun, and Langella hams it up as Skeletor. Again, I don't know how they got the great Frank Langella to do that.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of fun. Courtney Cox shows up. It goes bad when he comes into our universe.
Yeah.
The whole opening is cool. They're at Castle Grayskull and all the fights, and that's all neat. And if they would have stayed there, it would have been way better, even with the cheesy special effects.
But coming to our world is like pulling it out of the cartoon.
Oh yeah, and then meeting the teenagers again, Courtney Cox, and and it's dumb once it gets here, dumb. But I have a blast.
Yeah.
I showed it to my son.
Yeah.
Does not like it.
Really?
That's how cheesy it is. Yeah.
Lon got into He-Man cartoons for a hot second.
Really?
But he's not. Yeah, because we would play them on like Netflix or whatever.
Nice.
Because me and Matt were like, He-Man is so awesome. He's just I've never shown him the movie, but he fell out of favor with He-Man pretty damn quickly.
You're right. I love the theme of the show because it's like they wanted to do a song and then gave up.
Yeah.
It's like
He-Man, dun dun dun,
and the Masters of the Universe. Come on, there's got to be more to say because they do He-Man and the orchestra.
Yeah. Well,
and the Masters.
He-Man was a man of few words, so.
Yeah, and thank God because Dolph Lundgren played him. I like old Dolph.
Good one.
Yeah.
Good.
Right.
Good. Okay. Let's see. What else do I have? Okay, this is kind of a little, maybe a little obscure. I don't know. Do I want to pick this? I'm going to pick this as my last one.
Okay.
This had an interesting cast of characters in it. 1988, starring Cyndi Lauper. Love her.
I'm catching the vibe that you're giving me here.
Yeah, there you go. Jeff Goldblum, Peter Falk.
Jeff Goldblum's been on this show a couple times.
A lot.
Yeah, 3.
Clearly,
I think.
he's peaked.
Yeah.
In the 80s.
Yeah.
Psychics hired to find a lost temple in Peru, I believe it was.
And Peter fucking Falk.
I know. Can you believe he's in that movie?
Well,
That's such a
a
motley crew of people
like
crammed together. And Cyndi Lauper and Jeff Goldblum end up becoming love interests in the movie. Just very fucking weird.
I like it. It's a good movie.
I mean,
it's not a good movie.
I love it, but it's probably I loved it because of Cyndi Lauper. That's like
I love Cyndi to this day. I have all her stuff. I love it.
I
love the song from Vibes
with your wife. We saw her here.
That's right.
And I think I cried a little because I got so close to her, which
really?
is so not
nice.
me, but I was like starstruck because she's just amazing.
We saw her together when I first moved here, but it was one of the LBGT concerts, and there was a whole bunch of people.
Yeah.
And she was one of them. She's fantastic.
I
couldn't
love her.
I was like a 12-year-old girl
That's
in
how
1985.
I
I'm like, oh my God.
You remember the old they'll show people like watching the Beatles and the girls are like screaming and crying, and I was like, what the fuck is wrong with those people? And then like I got close to her and I kind of I got teary, like I didn't lose it, but I was like, I was starstruck. So anyways,
I kept tapping my wife. Huh?
It's Cyndi Lauper anyway.
Yeah.
So this is weird. It's a weird movie.
It had
weird. Comedy in it.
They're in South America, right?
Yeah, I think they're in Peru.
I think you said that.
Yeah, I think that's right.
I need to listen. Yeah, that's all right.
It's been years since I've seen the movie, but I always liked it. I caught it on TV every time it would come on back in the 80s and early 90s, I guess. I would watch it, and I don't know why I was so attracted to it, but I loved it. It's Cyndi Lauper's got that accent, which she does not lose in the movie. No, she doesn't.
She can't. No.
And Peter Falk is Peter Falk.
He is, and he's very Peter Falk in that movie.
Yeah.
And there's bickering and fun to be had.
Yeah.
And I remember a lot of walking.
Supernatural shit. Yeah, they're climbing mountains and
all
stuff.
The time.
Yeah.
No, that's a good one. I'd like to see that again. I haven't seen that.
And that one again, unavailable on any of the channels that I tried to watch it on. No.
Peter
Bummer.
Falk. Yeah, what the hell is he doing in that? All right, we need to wrap it up, and then we're gonna go out big.
Okay.
I know this is something you and I agree on, and you just mentioned it in an email. We're gonna go out with, and I'll say it like Peter Griffin said it on Family Guy, Roadhouse.
Yes, on my list.
Roadhouse, baby. Our rest in peace Patrick Swayze and Ben Gazzara. Roadhouse. Come on.
It doesn't get better than
That
that.
that is in the top 5 all-time great cheesy movies.
It is.
It is such a revered movie that Kevin Smith does the commentary on the DVD.
Does he really?
Talking about how much he loves it, realizing it's a bad movie. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's ridiculous.
It is so ridiculous.
Patrick Swayze fights Ben Gazzara and the fight lasts. Wait
He's
a minute.
badass in that movie. He's ripped.
Dalton,
I think.
Dalton.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's fucking, yeah. He's so hot in that movie, I said, he's fucking hot in this movie. Yeah.
He is. This
For
is
those of you who don't know
after
me, I'm a straight
Dirty
man.
Dancing, right? This is post Dirty
Yeah,
Dancing?
2 years later.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he was still very popular.
Yeah,
Dirty
he was
Dancing,
huge.
like,
Yeah, those are his
skyrocketed
2
him.
big movies, those 2.
I
It's
love
so
that
good,
movie.
man.
It is. It is.
It's
And it's got Jeff, what's his name? The music player that's in it.
Jeff Shit.
I can't
No,
believe
it's not Jeff Shit. Yeah, the blind guy. Yeah, I loved him.
He's so good in that. Yeah.
I love that guy. I want to say
music
Jeff
is-
Buckley, but that's not right.
No. It starts with a B though, I think.
That's it? Yeah. Damn.
Anyways, the music is really good in it.
It is good. It's bluesy, rocky.
Yes, and the people are just
Sam Elliott.
Damn.
The great Sam. Is that your little verklempt all of a
I
sudden?
do.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's truly
He does things
a
to
man,
me.
isn't he?
He
Right.
is. Oh my
We wish he
God.
did that. No, he's, yeah, I'll give you Sam Elliott too.
He
Yeah.
is. Yeah. He's not that a major of a. I mean, he doesn't come in the first half of the
No,
movie.
but
He
he's,
comes in a little
yeah,
later.
and he's always pushing his hair back. He's always pushing it back.
The salt and pepper
Yeah.
beard. Oh my God. I love
If I could talk like Sam Elliott, because I think I sound
He
nasally.
talks like
Jesus
this.
Christ.
What's up, Dalton?
He makes me wet.
Yeah.
Can I say that?
Yes, you can. I don't judge you for it. He's that hot.
Oh my
It's
God.
good, and you know the.
Yeah.
Oh God, I just watched it recently, and I can't remember what the girl's name is. What's the lady's name that's in it?
Kelly Lynch.
Yeah, so didn't really like her that much, but
She's not very good.
the scene where he's like in the hospital when they were first meeting, and she's kind of like patching him up and stuff, and she's got on these fucking glasses.
Oh, the glasses, yeah.
Red, and they're like fucking sauce dinner plates. They're so big
Yep.
over her eyes. I was like, that is so 1980s right there.
Yep.
Oh, I think I had a pair of glasses like that.
Best line. What's your favorite line in the movie?
I couldn't tell you.
My favorite line. You be nice until it's time to not be nice. I love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, tell them to leave twice.
Yeah.
They don't kick their fucking ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good.
He's very.
That and it's my way or the highway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's very
And he's a
pacifist who's
Zen,
violent.
a Zen pacifist bouncer. Yeah.
He's a Zen pacifist who will kick your ass.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah.
He rips a guy's throat out.
Ugh.
Come on.
Yeah.
Down by the river. I love this movie, man. It's a great movie. It is,
really
and
is.
he's always walking around like he knows he's the shit.
Yeah.
He's walking around in that movie like Steve Seagal believes he is in real life.
Yes, that's
Right?
a very perfect way
He
to
really
put it.
is.
Yeah.
He's just very zen and together and
But
tough,
he
and his
pulls
arms
it
are
off.
always.
Like I
He
never
does.
felt like it was like bad. You
No.
know,
Not at all.
awfulness. It was
No.
very natural Patrick Swayze-ish.
Exactly. And I tell you what, he doesn't get enough or didn't get enough credit because he didn't do enough good movies.
Yeah.
Patrick Swayze was a good actor. I thought he was a very good actor.
See Next to Kin?
Yeah, I did. I didn't like
Oh,
that.
I like that movie. He's
My
really
favorite
good
thing
in
about that movie is the bow and arrow fight in the graveyard at night. We can't see the fucking arrows. Why are you having a bow and arrow fight at night? Dumb fucks. Anyway, no, I didn't like it. But he's the best thing in The Outsiders with all those decent actors back
Man.
then. He's so good in that
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah, I was sad.
I
when
like
he
him.
passed. I
Yeah, it
really
was a
liked-
sad-
I was a Patrick Swayze fan.
Me too. Like I said, he didn't do enough good. I think I own 2.
Yeah.
Patrick Swayze.
Yeah.
But he was a good actor.
Yeah.
I wish he would have been able to do more.
More. Yeah, I agree
Mm-hmm.
with you. So Roadhouse. It actually is 1989, so it is the
It
end
just makes
of
it,
the
man.
era.
I'm telling you, we got so many 80s movies. I threw
Oh.
in 1 from the 70s, or 2, and the rest are 80s.
Yeah.
Literally. And maybe 1 from the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah, Roadhouse. Do you remember that Family Guy episode? Roadhouse.
You've got to watch it if you haven't seen it.
Yeah,
It
Roadhouse
worth it.
is it is a bad movie,
Yeah.
and it is, again, cheese to the max,
Mhm.
and it is, I give it 3.5 stars. I'm
Yeah.
not kidding. It's a
Yeah.
great movie.
I just rewatched it in honor of this podcast.
I'm
and-
going to do it.
And I thought,
As
this
well.
still holds up. I still really like this movie
Good
after all. Like
dog.
some of the cheesy movies, I've rewatched them as an adult, and I'm like, oh. I don't know what I was.
Oh, I know. Me too.
You know, a lot of the ones I've talked about today, I still really like them. But
Yeah.
I don't know. This one just still is like, yeah, man, kick their ass.
Yeah.
You're a badass,
Well,
Patrick
Dalton,
Swayze.
fucking tough guy.
Yeah, I like his name, Dalton. That's
Dalton,
like
yeah, come on. He wasn't gonna be named
Too cool.
George.
He's
Yeah,
too
right.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Roadhouse.
That was a great way to end it.
I agree.
We started in part 1 with Flash Gordon. We ended the series with
Roadhouse.
Roadhouse.
Awesome.
All right. Well, this has been fun.
This has been fantastic.
She will be back on another episode soon of Lost Treasures.
Yes.
Old
Need
Tiff
to do
Sisman.
that. I'm building my list.
All right. We'll get to that real soon. All right. Well, that's the end of our. We hope you enjoyed part 2 of our cheesy movies. If you didn't, take a hike, pal. Yeah, right. Yeah. Don't fart in a phone booth. We don't give a shit. Yeah, you got for your younger ones, phone booths are these boxes that phones used to be in. Yeah. All right. Well, that was fun, Tiffany.
Thank you for
having me. Thank you for joining us.
Anthony.
We're going to have you on again very, very soon.
So looking forward to it.
As always, I'm Tony, and I'm more cheesy than you are.
All right. See you guys later.
See ya. And goodbye, folks.